Hey guys, I'm with Diego. He's the sole creator, the main creator of this brand new map that we have. We don't know, I'm not allowed to know too much about the map yet, but I am allowed to ask questions. Diego, want to introduce yourself? Tell people what's going on?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Diego. I'm a map designer in the Maps team, and I design Summit. And I worked with a lot of the artists on the team to help make sure the map, comes to life and plays really well. So
Cool. Oh yeah, so we got a list of questions. First one's, I think this one's a meatball down Broadway. You knocked us out of the park. What was the main goal in creating this map? Is there like a certain play style you wanted to encourage, or what's like the main objective with this map?
yeah, so the main goal for the map was to kind of bring a map that like people can feel that is familiar. So it has 2 bomb sites and 3 lanes. So you got a B lane and a mid lane and an A lane. Sure. And then we wanted to add a mechanic where basically like can the map change in the middle of a round theoretically. Right. The idea is that you can, activate this huge door or a big wall, and then once it's down, it's there for the rest of the round. So if you think of like an ascent door, but 10 times bigger, and then also made out of metal, so you can't destroy it. Yeah, that's kind of like as a designer, like we come up with these questions in our mind where it's like, hey, like what if this? And so for this map, it's like, what if a map could change layout theoretically, right?
No, that's crazy. A little off script, but I was talking to Temet, and he dabbled in it a little bit. And he said that this map seems safer than other maps.
I think safer might just mean like more traditional. It's definitely a lot more of a traditional map compared to like some releases like Abyss, for example. It was mostly that I wanted people to be able to appreciate the what's it called, the mechanic, and not really have to worry about the layout too much, if that makes sense. So it's like a quicker way to onboard to the map, and then like really just get into the meat and potatoes of like, okay, how are we going to use this new map mechanic? So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of maps, what is your process in creating a new map? Like, what's start to finish? What's your
so I can't go too into the details, but what I can say is that when we start making a new map, we always think of a goal, right? So for Abyss, it's like the map with no boundaries, right? You can fall off, you can send Sova darts off the map and that bounce back in. Jet can like updraft and get around the map, like outside of the technical borders of it. So we have like main like through lines like that we try to hit. Like split as well as like each site has like a heaven or a tower that we wanted to have like interplay between, and so we start with like an overarching goal that we want for the map, whatever that is, we figure it out, and then we go through like a lot of like testing and iteration, and we have an amazing team called the gameplay analysis team that is made up of like ex-pros and high ranked players, and they just like test maps and make sure that they are like the best they can be. Not everything's going to be perfect, obviously, but like we really want to make sure that our goals are being met, and that when we do release a map that we've done extensive testing, like we play the game, like we know what we're looking for and stuff like that. So yeah, once that iteration is done of like figuring out what the final design will be, we then hand it off to art, and they make it look beautiful as ever. They never miss, really.
The maps do look really good. I can't lie.
They never miss, and so yeah, it's just doing the art is one half of the process, where we always, for Valorant, we want to make sure the art is safe for gameplay as well. We don't want random pieces of utility getting caught on stuff, or like too
much clutter.
Too much clutter. Exactly. We want things to be clean for gameplay, and then but also look beautiful. And so there's a really fine line to toe there.
Cool. Well, that's a pretty cool insight. But now this new map, we don't know the name yet. What map is this? Is this like
map? This is the 13th map.
Okay, 13th. Yeah. So we're getting a lot of maps. Why even do more maps? Are you trying to encourage like new ways to play, or do we even need new maps, or what do you think?
Yeah. So I mean, Valorant is a game where the mastery curve is, it's fun. Like that is like going from 0 in Valorant to like whatever Immortal, Radiant, even Pro. Like that journey is like kind of the one that people strive for every day, right? Like your everyday ranked player is like striving to someday hit Radiant or maybe even go Pro. But along that way, we want players to also have a mastery curve, not every year, so to speak, but it's like, hey, like a new map presents new challenges and a new way to play the game potentially, and like new metas can form on new maps and stuff like that. So we want the game to still feel fresh year over year, and also challenge our players more and more. It's like, hey, like the game's 6 years old now, right? It's like stuff is starting to be solved, on the older maps. So it's like, hey, let's bring something new. Let's see what teams can kind of like learn from this new map and like kind of bring to the table. So
Cool.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And with bringing in a new map that requires players to problem solve and pick like the best agents, what do you think? Who will be the best agent? Do you think?
I don't
and
really.
why?
I don't want to prescribe a meta, so to speak. But
Sure.
I think the map. Again, with it being traditional, I think you can find success in kind of like whatever you want to run, as long as you have a good sense of it. So it's like, for example, like double initiator could be really good. What those two initiators are could be up to you, I think. I mean, obviously there's going to be a meta once the map releases and people get their hands on it, but I think it was like, for example, I personally like playing Sova on the map because I found some success on darts. And I think double initiator for the style of the map that it is feels fine, but we've also seen double senti actually, and like double duelist. So currently right now, when we test internally, like we go for like a wide variety, and honestly, that's kind of what we'd like to hear on the map send. It's like, hey, there's internally in testing, there's not like a true comp.
No right answer.
Yeah, no right answer, and that's what we like to see. Like I would love to see Paper Rex do like 5 duelists on this map.
Oh, dude, I wish.
If they ever want
farm
to.
views on that one.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. And what are you? I know we already talked about the gimmick, and I feel like this is the answer to this question. But what are you most excited for in this map?
I'm just excited to see like how people like kind of master it over time, because I think the mechanic itself seems very simple in terms of like the play pattern that you want to do with it. Like for attackers, like when they get onto site, you want to shoot it like how you would for an ascent door, for example. Like, oh, who's going to hit the switch? Okay, who's going to shoot the button to then drop the wall? And then, after that, like, wait, what's the layers? Like, do we leave it open to like have our neon go all the way through and then like kind of like lock them in and like pinch the site player in like A, for example? Or on B, where it's like if you leave it up on tower, that tower angle like sees pretty deep into spawn as an attacker. So do you want to like have an Omen TP up there quickly and like cut off rotations really fast? Just stuff like that. Like, I think the map is definitely much more subtle compared to our other releases, but I think we want the maps to all have their identity, and I think Summit has its identity as well.
Yeah, there we go. Heard that for the first time. That's cool. Now, with Summit, do you think, what would you change about the map? Or do you think it's perfect the way it is?
Nothing's ever perfect in design and in making games in general. So we're always looking for ways to make the map better. Post-release, we're always going to be monitoring how the map is doing. Looking at data, looking at play patterns, all that stuff. Pro play even once they get their hands on it. But we don't usually like to do changes like super quickly. Like we want to allow people to like kind of understand like, okay, this is how the map's supposed to be played. This is the meta, and then from there it's like, okay, is there anything we need to change, right? Like for example, like Corrode hasn't received an update in a while. It's because we still want to make sure we're doing the right change and not just changing it because Corrode hasn't had an update in a while. So
right. Or Twitter's being too loud or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Or Twitter's being too loud. But like we are totally fine on the maps end to like not change maps if we think that they're healthy, right? We don't want to force change just for change. We want people, because maps are really important in terms of like, it's like a house, right? The second you change a corner in your house, you're like, what the hell is this? I don't even know what is this anymore. Or if you rearrange the furniture, it's also really weird. So we want to make sure that we respect people's time and investment in that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And one last question, and a little off script, so if you want to cut it, that's cool too.
Okay.
But again, we got a lot of maps, 13, going on 14 after this new one. Has there been any discussion as to like what the cycle is going to be in like ranked or in competitive play, where there's so many maps where I feel like maybe these cycles that we have now may not be even quick enough? Like, what do you think is a solution?
Yeah, no,
when we have a ton of maps?
we're always looking for ways to improve our map pool system. Like most recently, we kind of changed how we do map pools in general. With 13 maps, Summit being the 13th one, I think we're definitely getting up there, but I think we're always looking for ways to improve it and make sure that like every map gets played, because we don't want another situation where like Fracture. Remember where Fracture was out for like a year and a half?
Yeah, a long time.
And Breeze too, but we were working on Breeze in the
Yeah,
background.
that's
We couldn't
different,
say anything
for sure.
So it's a little bit different for that one, but we also want to make sure that our maps see playtime, right? Especially with so many of them, and that might mean we have to do some different things or test different systems. We don't know what that is, especially I don't know if we want Valorant to live on for another 10 years. If we keep making maps every year, we're gonna have to change something.
Like 60 maps.
Yeah, 60 maps or something like that. So we're gonna have to do something, eventually.
Sure.
Because I think the current map pool system works, but it could be better.
Yeah, right.
Be better.
We're working on it. We're working into it. So it's cool. Yeah. So that's all the questions I had.
Yeah.
Diego, thanks for your time and thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
So
No problem.
it was fun.
Yeah.